throughout the years, right? What's your favorite moment of all time?
Well, you have to think it's probably a Kentucky Derby of some sort, you know. Actually, we ran when I was early on when I was a young trainer in 1980. It was we had a horse in the Kentucky Derby that was, ironically enough, a cow bred. And he finished second in the Santa Anita Derby. And at that time, we went on to Hollywood. He was second in the Hollywood Derby. We said, we'll take a chance in the Kentucky Derby. And he wound up second again. But it was funny because he could have won. You hear all the stories about, well, if this had happened and that had happened, maybe he would have won. But I really think that if things had unfolded a little differently, he would have. He was second to a filly called Genuine Risk, who was only the second filly in the history to win the Kentucky Derby. So that and 50 cents will get you a cup of coffee, I guess.
And you know, right, what's your earliest memory in this life?
Well, I trained horses. My father trained horses. My grandfather trained horses. So I've been literally coming to the racetrack since birth, I guess. I'm sure my mother brought me out here in her arms at some stage, you know. But I remember coming to Santa Anita in the 60s when I was just a little kid, seeing all the great riders, you know, Shoemaker, Arcaro, Pincay, Delahousie, you know, all those great riders, you know, they bring back good memories. We had such a great colony here in the 70s, you know, Sandy Holly, Daryl McHarg, all Eclipse Award winning jockeys, and they're all competing. So if you couldn't get Shoemaker, you got Pincay. What's wrong with that? You couldn't get Pincay, you got Delahousie. You couldn't get Delahousie, you got McCarran. You couldn't get McCarran, you got Gary Stevens. So it was a luxury for a lot of us trainers to pick who we wanted to ride our horses, you know.
Is there any difference from racing from the 70s to now?
Well, there is, as you guys probably know. It's quite a bit different now, and the rules and the regulations, you know, even with jockeys, I'm sure they got away with a lot more riding infractions than they do now. Just like any sport, you know. Football, they probably boom, hit a guy, and there wasn't the cameras like we have now, so they have to be very diligent about their how they act around horses, and the people themselves too. You know, we got a lot of restrictions here in California about maintaining horse health, which is good. You know, which is good.
Do you have a favorite horse of all time?
Well, I think my favorite, I should say, the best horse I ever saw was Spectacular Bid.
Wow.
He raced here for a whole season. He won the race they're having tomorrow, the Santa Anita Handicap. He won the Malibu, and he won the Strube, and won quite a few big races. But that was probably the best horse I ever saw. Shoemaker used to ride him as well. And he carried like 130 pounds, you know, giving other horses 10, 12 pounds, and just made it look like it was a workout in the mornings, you know. My dad's from another generation. Now, he'll tell you the best horse he ever saw was Swaps. It was the Kentucky Derby winner back in mid-50s. So.
And what was the name of the horse who ran third in each one? I mean, second in each one.
Oh, Rumbo. His name was Rumbo. Yeah. Okay. Pincay rode him in the Kentucky Derby. Yeah.
Okay. And as an inspiration, what's some of the people out here who's helped bring your career to?
Well, when I was a young kid, we always used to look up to Charlie Whittingham, who was a name you guys probably remember. Right. And Wayne Lucas was in that era, you know. And a lot of great trainers, Reggie Cornell, Ralph West. I can go on, but a lot of the old timers are, except for Wayne, he's still around, but most of those guys are gone now, you know.
And you know, most people look at racing as owner-trainer, right? How important is the men and women that work on these barns every day?
They're the backbone of the industry. I mean, without them, you know, I can't do all the work, you know. I can't do all the work, and I have to have, you know, a number of different sets of eyes that keep an eye on things. I mean, I try to look at each horse's legs every morning, but I can't be too intricate as a groom can be. He rubs their legs. If he sees a little spot on their leg or a little heat here and there, he can let me know, then I can have a look at it. You know? So yes, they're extremely important. Probably one of the most important aspects after acquiring a horse that we do.
Like, what makes a good groom? For you've been around a long time.
Well, the love of the game for the most part, diligence, hard work. A lot of these guys are hard workers, but they don't have the knowledge, the horsemanship that you maybe perhaps like them to have. But that's something as a trainer you like to educate them with. You know, you try to teach them, and hopefully they'll stick with you. You know.
And you know what make this racetrack right here so special? I'm looking around and it's very beautiful back here.
Well, I was born in, you probably heard of Santa Monica, it's over there by the airport.
Yeah.
But my family moved here to Arcadia back in when I was like 4 or 5 years old. And I went to school, a little Catholic school across the street here called Holy Angels for 8 years. So I grew up in Arcadia, you know, so I've been coming here for, you know, all my life. And it's home. It's I've seen all those great horses run here over the past since I can remember, late 60s on, you know. So yeah, it brings back a lot of special memories being from Arcadia, where of course Santa Anita is.